All right, I'm gonna start working on this interior now. I showed you in the walk around video how bad the carpet and stuff is. See all this just mess right here, and over on the driver's side it's the same, but you know, surprisingly the seats don't look real bad. I think they'll clean up pretty good. Of course the driver's side's got some tears in it, but I'm gonna start with this passenger side seat, at least getting it out, maybe get the driver's seat loose, and then start doing what I got to do to get the carpet taken care of, get it out of here. I'm gonna pressure wash the carpet, and I've done several of these before, not on this kind of vehicle, but several different carpets, and you'll be amazed how clean a carpet can come with pressure washing and Purple Power. And so here's what she looks like. We'll see what happens when we get done. Well, the passenger side is out, and my soul, how nasty can you get? There's look like peels and beans and lizard carcasses, acorns, and whatever the rest of that stuff is. So anyhow, we'll see how good that carpet turns out. I don't know. I'm glad most of that's up under the seat. Work on getting this other side loosened up. All right, got both the seats out. We're gonna have to do some serious cleaning out with gloves on style cleaning to get all this ready to wash, because that's seriously nasty. And we still got to pull like these speakers out, pull some trim pieces off, the sill plates, those got to come up before we can actually pull the carpet up. The shifter boot, which is already loose, is probably won't have to do much of that, but we'll see what goes on with that. Anyway, there it is. All right, I got the carpet out, and I had some problems with a couple of those sill plate screws. They were stripped out, and I had to just drill them out. Aggravating. One of the sill plates is about just deteriorated. The metal is just as frail as it can be, and so I'm going to have to find some of those, but we'll see. I don't know how good this carpet's going to get. There was something that was spilled right here, and it's hard. I don't know what in the world that was. And it just looks like some discoloration from the sun and whatnot. I think I can get it looking better, but I don't know how presentable that's going to be as far as all that. And so I'm going to soak her down with some Purple Power and do a little bit of scrubbing and maybe and see what happens here. See if we can't get some of this worked out. All right, I got one pass I made over it, and of course it's got a lot of mess out of it, but it's still pretty bad. This section up here at the driver's part are really bad up here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to let it drip. Usually I vacuum these out with the shop vac, get all the main water out and then let it dry from there. But I'm just gonna kind of hang this and let it dry overnight, drip some, and then I'm gonna soak it again with some more Purple Power and go over it with my brush and see if I can't get a little bit more of this stuff out of it, especially that up there. It's definitely cleaner, but it's still not 100% by any means. We'll see what we can do with it. I've got the inside of this thing vacuumed out pretty good. I'm going to do some wiping of these interior pieces while I got it apart. Some of this stuff just needs to be wiped down real good and cleaned up. And I'm gonna put a patch where that rubber plug was right there in the bottom of the floorboard. I got just a little piece of metal. I'm just gonna put some sealant on it and well, here's where we're at with our carpet. Got her back in, and of course you can still see stains all in it. I mean, this just is what it is. Of course, the part up under the seat looks the best, where the seats are going to be. Really and truly, I believe the video makes it look worse. It looks bad, but either way, it's going to have to suffice because I'm not buying carpet for it. And so it's at least clean now, at least what will come out clean. I've got these panels, the side panels, and the little kick plates down here cleaned up. I got to order some seal plates. I thought for sure Amazon, I mean not Amazon, but eBay would have those, but they don't seem to. LMC's got them, so I got to order those. I got to get a door handle. This interior door handle's jacked up, and they got those too. I guess I could go ahead and work on getting that door panel off, but I got to wipe down the door jambs pretty good, and on the door as well. So making progress. I'm gonna have to spend some time on that steering wheel. I did a little bit on it already. It's got that sticky residue on it. Did a little bit over here, and it's definitely got it. It just takes time. Just got to rub it and rub it and rub it and rub it. Probably should have did that before I put the carpet back in, but it'll be all right. Anyway, here's where it is. I got to clean the seats a little bit. I'm debating whether to pressure wash them or not. I've pressure washed seats before and they do fine. I just don't know if I'm going to do it with this one or not. And so we'll see. Well, after looking at these seats some more, I'm definitely going to pressure wash them. They didn't look that bad in my mind. I'll pull them out, but then you see, look at all this mess here. I'll get all that clean and knocked off. Yeah, they look a lot worse now for some reason. Yeah, I'm gonna pressure wash them though and see if we can't make them look just a little bit better. Well, I've done them a bunch of times, not these particular seats, but pressure wash seats. And it still amazes me every time I do it, the difference it makes. It don't take that long to do. You can run over it with your vacuum cleaner if you got a shop vac and dry the most of the water out, and then just let them air dry and they'll be fine. And I'm telling you, it's amazing. This seat here, I mean, It's got a few spots in it, but wow, for a 30-year-old seat, she don't look bad now, that's for sure. So I'm going to vacuum over these and dry them some, and let them get good and dry for a day or two, and stick them back in the truck. Well, we have decided to come up with a name for this truck. I like naming my vehicles, just something I've always done. And I thought this was fitting. The lady that I bought this from, I've picked her up for several years and taken her to the doctor. Used to pick up her husband, whose truck this belonged to, and he himself was an outdoor wildlife officer, and working at the wildlife refuges and whatnot. And because of that, of course, we know that this is a Ford Ranger, and so I thought it'd be fitting that we call this the Park Ranger. We're getting ready to change this interior door handle. I've already taken the window crank off. It's just a small, like a T20, I believe it is, screw, and it just pulls straight off. It's got a cover that folds out, and then the bezel that goes around the handle itself, I've already got it taken off. You see the handle's all jacked up, and so I got me another one right here. We're going to replace it. Just wanted to give a little quick thought here for folks that have never had to pull a door panel off. If you ever got to, they're not that hard. They can seem a little aggravating, but they're usually not that bad. This is the tool. This goes up in the bottom, up in, and then you pry. You'll work your way down, and you can feel where there are some push pins, plastic push clips, and there's several of them along the bottom, and then up top they come up the sides as well, going up to the top. And usually you'll have a screw here, which we do inside the handle. Always look down low. There's usually some, not usually, but sometimes there's screws. And sure enough, this one got me. I felt, didn't see anything, but right inside the carpet, there's two little screws right there that I didn't see at first. I was wondering why I was wanting to be a little cantankerous to pull loose. But once you get it, you'll be able to pull it loose, and we'll pull it on loose up the sides and make sure it flops all the way out. And then you can just pick up from the bottom of the whole thing. It's kind of setting down in this channel right here, and it should just pick up, pull out. And this one has no electric anything. If it's got anything electric, you know, a door lock switch or a window, power windows, of course there'll be connectors you got to take loose for that. We don't have to worry about this. This will just come right off, and that thing's going to be looking at us in the face. And so we're going to come back in a minute. We're going to get this panel off. We'll come back in a minute. All right, you see I got the door panel off. I've pulled the plastic liner down, and we're right here at our handle. And I pulled the screw out of it. And the way it just looks like it needs to come forward and come out. And I was trying to make it come forward. I noticed I could not get it to move. That's when I noticed these. It didn't take but a second. These are locks that go down. I've kind of messed them up now, but they go down and go up into these slots of the door, and those lock that thing in place. And so if you ever have to change a Ford Ranger, you can't figure out what's going on, here's what the deal is. These little locks right here, once I did that, of course, it slid right forward, no problem. And now all I gotta do is take the clip off the back for the rod that goes to the latch itself, and we'll be ready to rock and roll. All right, door panel's back on. Handle's nice and tight. I mean, feels like brand new as it should. And so we're back up and running there. Now we're gonna go in here and grab these seats. I gotta look too, by the way, the knob is missing for the headlight switch, and I looked it up on LMC. The switch itself is only like, I'm gonna say like 15 bucks, but the knob is 29. Now tell me how that makes sense. So I'm gonna try to figure something out for that to make that work. And so anyway, I pulled that bezel off to fix one of these vents and to fix one of the clips on it. Actually, two of the clips. I used some plastic weld on here. I don't know if it's going to hold or not. We'll find out. It was just kicked loose down here at the bottom to look bad. And so anyway, progress. Well, here she is. Seats back in, carpet back in. Still waiting on my sill plates. And then I got still do a little bit of rubbing on the steering wheel and a little bit on the dashboard. But other than that, the interior will be done as far as I'm going to do it. But she looks just a little bit better than when we got her, at least when we started on her, I should say. And so there's the inside. Not too shabby.